I'm gonna have a conversation this morning with a very dear friend of mine. Essential for preparation is something to drink in the morning, something hot.
I'll make you move like your boots are on fire. I'll make you jump like you touch a live wire. Ain't no sitting down when I get in the zone. Just give me my crown, let the king take his throne. Oh, I like to groove it. He likes to groove it. Oh, you're gonna move it. You're gonna move it. Clap your hands, just clap your hands. Give 'em a clap.
Let's get rolling. Hi, Gesine.
Hi, hello.
Oh my goodness, it's so good to see you. It's been a while.
Yes, but we know what we're doing, somehow. I find this very good that we can have a conversation this way
Yeah.
without getting on an airplane.
When I was a little boy, I remember back in the 70s, I was always dreaming about that, how nice it would be to have a tiny TV that I can watch anytime, anywhere. And now we're here. You're on a little TV, I'm on a little TV, connected to a phone. I mean, it still blows my mind.
One has to manifest.
I don't want to take all the credit.
manifest it for all of us,
I don't want to take all the credit, but I think a lot of people had the same desire and wish.
Yeah.
And thank you for doing this.
I am happy to talk to you, really, always. I need to say one thing. You are a true friend, and I have very much appreciated.
You and I know each other now for 2 decades. You were always someone who, when it come to change, I'm always thinking about you because you had your hands in so many different areas when it comes to work, when it comes to expressing your creativity in so many ways. So this is why I wanted to talk to you about this idea of change, because how do you look at change and where is that coming from? Because you had always a lot of different changes in your life.
I think it was my upbringing. I had an enormous free childhood. Have a growing up situation as well in Europe as well as in Africa. Either it was in the bush as a teenager, I just was, said, come back, make sure you come back. And that was, it was an amazing confidence that was given to us. And we just wanted to fulfill this. And of course, in free nature, with no gadgets whatsoever, none. Animals, nature, and let's not forget, after war Europe, we needed to improvise all the time. And with that comes that you have to have ideas to entertain yourself. And since I was around boys, I needed to prove that I was as gutsy as they are. Yeah, it prepared me very well because no day was the same. It was always different. That was the beginning, and that our parents really trusted us to say, you will make good decisions. From early on, you will make good decisions.
Architecture is one direction, but you also made films, you raised in car races to all kinds of wild things. It's wild for anyone. It's so interesting that you bring that up, that growing up in 2 different cultures.
Natural surrounding is so different. A German forest, nothing gets greener than that. And then you come into the bush and it's dry. And if it doesn't rain for 4 or 6 years, oh my God, it gets dry. One very good rain for 2 days and the bush explodes in the most gorgeous colors. You know that. You have spent time in Africa. It shows how resilient nature makes all of its creation. No matter if it is if it is a bush, if it is a flower, if it's an animal, or if it is a river that dries out completely and the little fish, they go into the mud, and 6 years later, they, once it's wet, it gets multiply very happily. When COVID came, I just said, okay, it means we have to go in hibernation. It was, again, a complete change that was unasked by me, was put upon all of us. I used this year to go on the journey into self. And it is, again, something I haven't done before, circumstantial, using it. Interesting stuff will come out of you will all see it. To answer your question on a second level, it was the flexibility that children should have to understand that they are responsible. And we were treated as everybody. We were not treated like children. They knew that independence in our thoughts would be important. And they gave us that to build it early on. And we were encouraged, always encouraged. My father had set us down. He said very clearly, your life is a book. People will only be interested in your book when it is an interesting book. He said, every day is a page. Make it as interesting as you can. They said, second place is first loser. There's one winner. When you train hard, and in order to make it worth your while, you need to be the first to the line, whatever the line was. But it was also taught that it is okay if you didn't make it, because you could only learn from it because you knew that something wasn't quite right, and let's figure this out, So that was good. To summarize it, competitive sport as a young person, freedom in trusting that we would make good decisions, and I think children should be left to discover the world by themselves, really, and with very, very gentle guidance. Love, food, shelter, and connectivity. A pleasure to discover, and to go all the time in uncharted territory. And I don't mean uncharted territory that it isn't on the map. I talk about uncharted territory for yourself, perhaps in a relationship. The uncharted part of it, elevating your relationship onto a new level. And I also believe that we all are meant to be genius, every one of us. We are meant to do wonderful things. And they can be very different, these wonderful things. You better have everything going in your head and everything in your heart and soul. And if you're really packed your suitcase in these two places very well, you go on an amazing journey.
Change is basically to be able to go out effectively and go inward effectively. And as you described it to me, the family was key to give freedom, and nature was key to give you the possibility to discover on your own terms.
Yes.
So these pillars were key for you to be able to explore and look at all different facets of life and industry and relationships and way of living.
And sport gave me the possibility to build confidence, to really value your vessel. And you're the guru of this, There's another thing that I value. You are a very giving person. Do you remember we met in New York, and you opened many doors for the world consciousness designed for the ground zero after 9/11. So you are very generous. You opened doors, from the Rolling Stones to the financial people to whatever. It was really amazing. You're generous. And you are a very good friend. Thank you for actually having this conversation with me. I enjoyed it.
Thank you so much, Gesine. I really appreciate it. Thank you for just being there always, okay?
Yeah, well, likewise. Thank you, Csaba.
Of course, as always, I'm inspired. I can't wait to go on with my day and try to create something new, something interesting. Thank you, Gesine. Deeply appreciate it. And guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you got some inspiration out of this as well. Ciao.
I'll make you jump like you touch a live wire.